Welcome back to Entertainment Review right here on Metro Television. And before we went on the break, we Nanaya introduced our very first guest. And so introducing our second guest for the next bit of Entertainment Review today. She's a fashion designer, and that is Daphne Nanaya Aqua. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
With yourself?
Oh, I'm great. Welcome to Entertainment Review.
Thank you.
Okay. So, oh yes, you already introduced the star boy. Okay, yes.
Who is the star boy?
He's the star boy of Ignite Media. Yes.
So like you're looking amazing.
Hey,
Yeah?
thank
She's
you.
looking pretty. Like
Just because
You're blushing.
it's okay. Let's go.
It's okay,
Let's
right?
move on.
Black beauty.
Let's move on. And of course the tailor.
Yes, Elikem Kumaji. Okay, so welcome. So, fashion, they say, is a form of self-expression. But I mean, over the years, over the period, it has evolved. There's taste, preference, culture-wise, and everything. But then the topic for discussion today is traditional fashion style, the growth of traditional fashion style. And one thing that comes in mind is why can't fashion be left alone? As in, why can't we just, if this is how, let's say our Kente, for instance, the way it is traditionally worn for certain ceremonies, you know,
Throw it onto
you
the
throw
shoulder,
it on and then all of that. But then as the years went by, now when you're going for certain ceremonies, it is not only, you don't only do, it is no more fully cladded kente, but now it's like you can do a touch of kente.
with some lace.
With some, exactly. So then like, it makes me feel that, okay, so kente is something that is very rich. It shows royalty and all that. There are a whole lot of good things in relation to kente. But when you add just a piece of that,
diluted?
exactly, like, isn't it devaluing what kente is to the culture, to the Ghanaian community?
Beautiful ladies first.
Well, I don't think so. I think we are rather raising the Ghanaian banner high in the sense that everyone prefers foreign fabrics.
Yeah.
You get it. But since you have a touch of the Ghanaian print in it, it makes it more unique and more defined.
Like what you have.
You get it. And then a foreigner will prefer this because it has a touch of the African print in it, rather than buying just the normal foreign print, because it will be brave, you understand?
Yeah.
But if they have the touch of the African print, they find it to be more unique. You get it? That's
Okay.
the reason I feel it never
Right.
fades. You understand?
Elikem?
It's a very broad question, very good one at that. And I believe that as traditional as we can be, fashion is not meant to be kept in a box. Fashion is ambiguous. Fashion is big. Fashion is it covers like a whole broad spectrum. And that in being creative in fashion, you'd want to take one thing and make a whole lot of other things out of it. So in being creative in the fashion space, you'd want to take our traditional kente, and of course, we are not allowed to wear your kente cloth around your neck to the office.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to wear it anywhere, any day, anytime. But we still want to show that we're Ghanaian. So what do? We take a piece of that little fabric, and like Nanaya is saying, we incorporate it into our urban looks, our local looks. And in the spirit of wanting to go global, as a fashion designer, I would want to appeal to the masses what's trendy with a touch of African print or with a touch of kente. That's going global. So fashion is too big to be kept in a small box, to be kept at just wrap around your shoulder. And it's creativity that has gotten us into that space of the combination of laces and corsets with African print and kente. So fashion cannot be kept in a box.
Okay.
Creativity cannot be kept in a box.
Creativity. Okay. So with kente, for instance, I know that even when you're choosing kente, if you're going to get married, the colors you choose plays a role. Sometimes even the way the pattern of the weave is and all that. So let's say you both are fashion designers, and you have someone come to you that, okay, I'm going for an event or I'm getting married or something. What exactly, maybe the person wants you to help him or her, a bride to be, help her select exactly what will fit, what you think will be perfect for her day. What information is privy to you in relation to, okay, you're not just looking at the body, or maybe you think this style will fit her, but then maybe, okay, this color would be good for you, or maybe if you are to do this combination of kente and all that, what information is privy to you? I'm interested in that. How do you, put everything together?
Shall I go
Okay.
first? Shall I go first? Okay, I'll go first this time.
Right.
So yeah, it's very important that certain skin tones go with certain colors. Like you're popping in that pink.
Yeah.
I love your skin tone against that pink.
Right.
And when people come to us, there's two things. There are some fashion designers that also have the ability to style people and to see colors. Now, fashion is a very broad, big umbrella.
Yeah.
Under the fashion umbrella, you have your designers, you have your tailors, you have your cutters, you have your fashion photographers, you have your models, you have your stylists.
There's a difference?
There's a big difference.
Tailor bits and the...
Yes, tailors are usually machinists,
Yeah.
people who can cut and stitch with the machine and stuff like that. A fashion designer can not necessarily know how to sew or stitch, but they are more like the general overseer of all the other fashion facets.
Okay.
So for me, I have a little bit of a styling ability. So when you come to me and your wedding is on this day and your colors are like this, we can put together certain colors against your skin tone, like I said, and certain fabric that may suit the occasion. Because mind you, you don't want to wear some maybe lycra as the main anniversary outfit. You want to wear something lacy, something rich, maybe a combination of kente. So all those things come into play. So it's very important for a fashion designer to have some sort of a styling background and to know colors. Because not every color is good for every skin tone. And again, not every body shape will look good in certain designs. Some people like to wear peplums to cover a bit of a stomach situation. Some people like longer sleeves because maybe they're hiding stretch marks, and so on and so forth. So all those things come into play when you're about to style someone.
Yeah.
So the styling aspect is different from making the actual clothes.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so with the styling aspect, right, you look at the person's body type. You get it. So imagine someone has like a lot of hips, a lot of, you don't give her so much details on her hip area because it makes her look like too much.
Too much.
Do you understand? Yeah.
But that's what some of the men want to see.
Yeah. The one
But
with the
I-
exaggeration.
But I feel that's, for me, I feel that's wrong.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
like it makes you too busy.
Your preference,
You
No,
understand?
but that's
If-
the lady can prefer that. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and then what would you do as a stylist?
Okay, so personally, right, I'm hipsy, I have small ass. You get
Okay.
it? So I would give more details to my upper parts because I have very tiny waist. Do you understand? So I'll give more details to my upper part and then less details to my lower part. Do you understand me?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
For me, before we talk more about the styling, and I have so many questions for you.
Okay.
But I want us to define what makes a traditional fashion dress. Because I know we have our different kente dagbades and different cultures have different fabrics. But in Ghana, with a bit of the styling, we tend to make the dress clumsy. Too many things. That's how I see it. So let's define what like a traditional fashion dress looks like. What elements should it have?
That's a tricky question. Because I like to believe a made in Ghana product is traditional.
Okay.
The reason I'm saying that is because fashion is reciprocal, right? And trends pop up, they come and they go. Like my pants are Bola today, and it was Tunabu back in the day,
Right.
right? And so traditional varies. We can say putting kente in clothes could be traditional because, again, we can't wrap around fabric everywhere we go. So if I put like a kente on this little part of my shirt, am I being traditional or am I copying a Western style and then adding something traditional? So I like to say, once it's made in Ghana, it's traditional enough.
Okay.
Because fashion somehow evolves from the Asias.
Okay.
Then it comes to the Americas and the Europes before it reaches Africa. That's according to my research. Sorry, let me just make that clear. Put that out, the disclaimer.
Yeah.
And so if the Asians wear it and we don't see it on time because their population is big and they're like their own discourse community and they don't care about the rest of the world. And then the Americans wear it and we see it. Is it American fashion? Is it traditional American fashion?
Okay.
And you'll find out that all these so-called traditional looks we're making now for our weddings with a kente where they put the beads and, pistis who sew like a very nice peplum on the side with like nice tight hips with a flare at the bottom. Would we say it's traditional because there's kente? Because that's not a typically African look. Our great-grandmothers used to wrap the cloth around their necks and put a lot of beads on their waist and put things in your bottom.
And that is
even
what
puffs.
we don't like. You get it? That is what we don't
see?
embrace.
So the whole tight beaded peplum, flare, fish, mermaid look, is that traditional because it has kente? I'm asking, do you think it's traditional?
So in terms of like the styling coming inside, it makes it look like, it's like, to me, from what you are saying, we are doing too much.
Right.
We're
diluting our traditional.
We are diluting the traditional dress.
It's arguable. It's still kente.
It's still kente, but we are doing too much. We are attending a traditional wedding, a traditional event, like my engagement.
Right.
And my mom.
Your engagement.
My engagement. My mom goes to bring kente or kente different types. If I'm going to sew it, am I going to make the styling too many? And when I make it too many, from their time, it wasn't so. So she is going to feel like, oh, I said, what diluted kente nama? You are not feeling that kente-ish atmosphere.
Okay. And when is it too much, Nana? When is it too much?
I think that's a good question.
When is it too
Tell
much?
us no.
No. Like, when is it too much?
So you see, you can't really point what's too much and what's not too much.
Because
it's client's preference.
Good.
A client comes to you and they want full kente, a full kente dress.
Beads,
Some clients don't want beads. Everyone's different.
Okay.
Some clients just want a full kente dress. Some clients want a combination of beads in it. Some clients want a combination of plain fabric. Some clients want just a strip of the kente. Some of the guys, they'll say, no, don't give me the kente. Make the woman wear the kente. Me, I don't want wear it. That's what I'm saying. What then is traditional? Is it the design of the dress? Are we diluting the traditionality of everything with the design of the dress, sewing it like the Western style?
Yeah.
Or is it the fact that the kente has been added beads to? Again, fashion evolves.
Yeah.
Well, we pick up trends and inspiration from all over the world. Like I said, the Asians, the Americas, the Europes, and fashion evolves. Ladies of today want to remember their wedding ceremony, their special day, as the day they spend extra money to do their hair, to do their makeup. They pay $1,500, $2,000 for a dress, And so, are you going to tell them that you're not traditional enough, so you don't fit the criteria?
Honestly, what's on the screen is like traditional. Because you see the kente, the other one. The kente is more than the accessories. Even this one is not.
But this is not Ghanaian.
Kente.
This is kente, but
This is it.
So this is what you're
This is the
talking about.
traditional I'm talking about. This is what maybe most of
But I have a
our.
nice body. Let's assume I have a nice body. I've got nice hips. I've got a flat stomach. I'm 27 years old. I'm still fit, and I want my body to show.
Okay.
I want to look sexy on my wedding day, on my
So
traditional
you
wedding.
add the other things.
So I go to a good seamstress and I say to her, please put cuts and darts and make my shape come out. It is still full kente.
Yeah.
It is still traditional. But I think, yes, to some extent, we've diluted the traditionality
To make
of
it
it
more.
a little bit.
And that's when I want Anaya to come in. The accessories in the dress is a lot. Then we tend to put accessories on our body.
But personally, I don't think it's more.
Okay.
You understand? I don't think it's more because the youth right now, right? If you should design like just African print dress, and then you have another one with
Stones
you
and
feel
beads.
in
Beads,
the
accessories. Yeah.
they'll rather go in for that one instead of fully African prints, because people didn't really appreciate that until we started infusing the foreign one with the Ghanaian print. Do you understand? And it's more fancy and dicey because it's more like you feel confident wearing it than just wearing
normal kente.
Maybe the normal kente was boring.
You understand?
You can say that
But
it's
when you
boring.
blend it with the African print, it makes it more fun. Like it's something you would like to put on. But if it's just like a plain African print shirt,
One thing I can guarantee you is, I repeat, fashion is reciprocal.
Yeah.
It will go and it will come. Back in the day, people loved the plain African print. And there was a time when people used to put stones in African print, and it went and it's coming back again.
Yeah.
These bowler pants went away for a long time. It's coming back again.
True.
Talk about flare, talk about bowler dresses, talk about cabine slits. Cabine slits went away.
Ladies don't want anymore.
Yeah, but nowadays people at their weddings and stuff would do like a
Yeah,
two-piece.
yeah.
Now they call it two-piece.
Two-piece. That's actually what I was gonna say,
You know.
because with our traditional weddings now, although it looks like okay, we are just incorporating just the kente and then we are sewing dresses and everything, but then the style using the kente is cabin slits.
yes,
And
it
corsets
is.
used to be big fashion
Yeah.
when the Marilyn Monroes and so on and so forth back in
Exactly.
the 80s, and corsets are coming back.
Yeah.
So it's all gonna go and it's all gonna come back. Whatever you say here today, if you condemn it, one day you'll be biting your tongue.
Oh yeah, that one is true. But I want to ask, complementing our dresses with accessories.
Right.
Do we really understand it? Do people know that
Good question.
the
People
combination?
do, people don't. Nanaya should answer that question.
Yeah. Do people understand the combination of accessories? You see, you are looking simple, little accessory. Are you wearing earring? Thank you. You see, we say that, earring, even if it's hidden, it makes a lady pop out.
Yeah.
But your earring is not showing. Someone will tilt the hair back. Now, your dress is up here, earring like my own long. Then as things are coming down. Do we understand how to apply accessories when we are dressing?
Some people do, like Elikem says. Some people do, some people don't. People want to be more extra because they feel when they put on too much accessories, it makes them who they want to be. But for me, for instance, I would want to just go simple. I wouldn't want to be too extra because I'll feel, being too extra is someone who say, hey, this girl, is it because she has too much of the jewelry that that's why she's wearing too much of it? Or, I think
But on a regular, Elikem, on a regular, how many accessories should be applied on the body?
That's a tough question. and I don't, you see, I'm in a business where people come to me and express what they really want. And even if I try to advise them, they say, no, do for me like that. I like them.
Yeah.
Now, there's this simple quote of mine that I came up with. It's hanging on my wall at my shop. That fashion is from the subconscious. Okay, it's like in psychology. Human behavior is from the subconscious mind. Who you are now is probably as a result of how you grew up and things you've been through. It's made you a certain person and built up your personality. Same way with fashion. You dress how you really feel inside. There's certain things you would wear that you see and be like, hey, nah, tight dress right there. Hey, I mean to me shell. But you're comfortable with it. Again, your subconscious. People also know their bodies. So for someone who wants to wear a lot of jewelry, maybe that's a way of expressing themselves. You see, now men are wearing choker type of necklaces.
True.
And as much as it's fashion, people really look good in it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a very tough question to answer, especially when somebody has blown her money pan to buy all the jewelry. Then you come and say to her, why is she wearing all of it? It's personal. It's personal. It's more from the subconscious. More
Talking
than
about money, let's talk about how much you guys charge for the traditional outfits. I went to a friend's wedding and her gown was quite simple. And I asked her how much she paid. She paid like 4,000. Yeah, 4,000. The fabric excluded.
I've been
was
married
nice,
before,
but-
and before this was like 2016, 17 when we were doing rounds to find a dress. I make dresses, but my ex-wife at the time, before we got married, wanted her dress to be made by a special people. I'm not gonna mention names, but we got there and they were charging us $1,500 to make the dress.
One dress.
One dress, $1,500. And this is a designer here in Ghana. right? Yeah, they're in East Legon. And you go on their page and you see the quality of dresses they make, and it's worth it. Why not? I'll say it's worth it because, look, I'm a designer. And it takes a lot of work to achieve such greatness in one piece.
Right.
I'm talking about time.
Okay.
So that if I'm using 2 weeks to bead, how do you quantify my time?
Yeah.
How are you going to pay me for being on one dress for 2 freaking weeks? Plus, the details and attention put into the dress. Do you know what it takes to put a bone 1 inch apart all around for a dress? First of all, you have to stitch the dresses half an inch all around, and then place the bone one by one, and then force the outfit to turn inside out.
To make it stand.
All those things are not easy. Yes, you're fusing, the iron you're going to use to stiff the fusing, and the expertise. So a lot goes into a couture dress, a dress that's made, by hand and to fit, bespoke to fit someone. And that's how it's supposed to be. Handmade dresses or dresses that are made from scratch by hand are supposed to be more expensive than the ones that go through the mass production.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's more attention to detail. So that if I'm accommodating, a lady with such beautiful volumes in front like that, I have to cup and go round.
Yeah.
And going around is not an easy job. We might go through like 3 fitting sessions.
Yeah.
And so it's relative. Yeah. People who charge like a little less, like low, you'll find out that they won't give you that much quality you're looking for. 'Cause they don't put as much attention into the detail like they're supposed to.
So what's the highest you've charged?
I charged about 5,000 Ghana cedis for a dress. It was being taken to a pageant, and the lady wanted wings flying in the air and a long veil, but I stopped doing those kind of dresses. Now I'm more into casuals and smart casuals.
Making those types of dresses is time consuming.
Yeah, and people in this part of the world unfortunately don't understand what goes into it.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, now,
the simple dress that you just sew
for
here.
some reason, they'll order that kind of dress from your Indias and your Lebanese countries because they do a lot of beaded clothes and stuff. But when it comes to us in Ghana, they don't want to pay us what we're worth for it. So I produce clothes that are easy to finish, like t-shirt looking clothes, pants, kaftans, that we can finish in 2-3 hours in a day, and then I'll charge you for it. So my kaftans are at 1,000 Ghana cedis right now, sometimes 800 Ghana cedis. And my casual clothes are 800 cedis and 600 cedis, yes, with my fabric.
Okay.
I'd like to think I'm a very affordable brand.
I know we've been talking ladies, and I'll get back to you with respect to the gents, the kaftan, and the evolution of that to now. I mean, a couple of years back, it wasn't that. But now kaftan is the ish.
It's a big thing.
Got to add a couple of things. How do you see that revolution, or that evolution actually?
Everything evolves. Human beings, animals, trees. A tree goes from a seed and evolves into a plant, and then it goes into a tree. And so fashion is also one very big evolving industry, for lack of a better word. And so the kaftans that we saw when I started making clothes some 10 years ago is not the kaftans we see today. And we're slowly evolving from, nice fitted kaftan, political suit looking clothes to like a more casual, easy flowing, soft fabric. Now we're sewing with buttons and a big collar, and now we're doing the Revere collar, like the lapel collar neck. And we're wearing a lot of casual clothes nowadays. So yes, it has evolved, but again, fashion is reciprocal. It's gonna go back one day.
Nanaya, your thoughts on that? What are some of the things about kaftan, the way you see gents, where you're like, oh my God, what is this? What is this? I know we've been watching the fashion review with what's it? Charlie Dior.
Dior.
He says a number of things, but I'm asking you, what are some of the things you see about the gents in kaftan?
And even the women in kaftan as well.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen anything about the men in kaftan that I do not like personally. So I can't really say much on that.
Which one do you like?
Which one? Okay, what I don't like is when they wrap the cloth around them and then you see some with the protruding belly. I find that to be off. I just don't like that about,
But you like how they're being
You shouldn't
sewn?
wear kaftan.
Pardon?
If you have a big belly, you shouldn't wear kaftan.
No, you should not. You should sit at home.
Period.
Who is looking at my face?
How do you generally feel about? So, I think with this conversation specifically, maybe I'm being too, going towards the traditional marriage thing too much. Okay. But I'm super concerned about that because it's like when it comes to the clothing for the bride and the groom, now it's like we are beginning to adopt other cultures of, style of dressing into ours. Now you see that a bride is in a Kente cabin slit and has gele on. You understand? Gele is not from Ghana.
Let me answer that question.
Okay.
And not to cut you. I think that whatever it is that is good will catch on the rest of the world regardless. If your music is good, Jay-Z's music was good to the point where it crossed America, came to Ghana, we enjoy it. Some of Burna Boy's music, although he's Nigerian, is being enjoyed by former President Barack Obama and the Jay-Z's and the likes because the music is good. Gele has crossed into Ghana and is being used because it's nice, it's fashionable. Now, there's a mix of cultures and let's call it cross-pollination and so on and so forth. What we need to do to stay above waters and to also get people loving our culture and our tradition is to also be equally creative.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, or fortunately, if the thing is good, it will cross borders. Okay. People will enjoy it. That's what I have to say.
But then don't we end up losing what is rightfully ours?
Unfortunately, we're not creative enough. We're stuck to. Remember that the woman who wore the kente with the plenty beads that you guys say, that's our traditional look.
Yeah.
We are stuck on that. We don't go any more creative than that. So unfortunately, when people are looking for something else to do outside the box that's not regular, they will only end up going to what they physically see trending, which is the next Nigerian style.
Yeah.
But if there's a certain designer or wedding stylist or something who can come up with some sort of incorporation with our Ghanaian looks and be a little more creative about it, Nigerians will then also want to copy our style. So we can't blame anyone for copying anyone because if it's good, you won't tell me not to wear.
Then you are blaming Ghana.
I don't know any good Ghanaian brand who makes like really nice sunglasses that I would want to wear. Otherwise, I would be wearing those. So I wear an LV.
Yeah.
I know a few Ghanaian watch brands, but I like my watch really, let me clean it, clean, and fresh. And so I would wear a Movado, which is an international brand.
Yeah.
I wear a few slippers brands, Phoenix, Phil and Joe, and so on and so forth. And I wear my own clothes because I insist on the quality of it. But if I don't find what I'm looking for in Ghana, I can only take what's coming from the outside.
But would you easily trust if there's something like that from Ghana? Would you easily trust? Because I believe
would try it.
That you would try it.
And if the quality is not good, I'll discard it. Because unfortunately, that's another thing. We are very mediocre about the quality of products we put out there as Ghanaians.
Okay.
We have the ability, even if we don't have the brain, there's the capacity to soak the information and learn how to finish your clothes nicely. Go on YouTube for crying out loud.
But probably because of the affordability of it.
No, forget about affordability.
People complain that Ghanaian-made stuff are expensive. Way expensive. Way expensive.
That's another conversation. I think maybe we're talking about something else.
Well, the creativity bit that...
We're talking about creativity and finishing aspect. Why people would not like to patronize Ghana, made in Ghana stuff. Because there are some very affordable made in Ghana stuff. Don't get me wrong. There are people selling slippers for 100 cedis, 120 cedis. And it might only take 5 more minutes to continue filing the edge of the slippers.
Right.
Yeah.
But the guy is in a hurry to make the next pair of slippers. He just puts it on the side. Now, what about those tailors that will finish sewing the clothes for you, but you go out and then the button will fall off? Are you telling me that they couldn't use 2 more minutes to lock the button at the back?
Yeah.
Or they will sew the clothes and like those China clothes, now handy. Are you telling me that right as soon as they finish from under the machine, they couldn't just cut the thread at the tip? It's the small attention to details we lack.
And sometimes it happens that way. Like you said, someone will fix a tailor, will fix a button, will fall off. Because he feels that the person won't pay that amount of money if he should mention. So at that point, no, he doesn't have that much time to put in the way because after all, I told you, I told you. You understand?
Don't you think
the money aspect
the
is fine,
tailor
because
then
I
is
told you.
sabotaging themselves? Because you
Exactly.
see, hold
Yes.
on, that small 120 Ghana cedis you are collecting instead of, let's say, 200 Ghana cedis, you won't get again because that customer, even though they are cheap, they won't come back.
Yeah.
But
They'll come
well,
back.
if you should also tell them that this is going for a 500 CD, so say, hey, it's too much just for a blouse.
You know one thing I've learned that
so
I-
in that
I-
case, you're not going to put in too much effort for that work. You
One thing
understand?
I've learned that I think we need to educate people, fashion designers coming up also
Great.
about is you need to sometimes explain to your clients the level of work and intensity you're putting into the product for them and why you're charging them a certain amount. I found out that it worked. So you come to me, you want to make a kaftan, I'll be like, oh, say, actually, this material there, be quality. You go feel where I'm 10 years. You go wash them, I no go do anything. And the buttons where they put for top, if you
colour
gold
no go
buttons,
fade.
I no go fade. So I beg you add some extra 50 Ghana, make sure say it be clean for you. If he insists no, and you put the plastic buttons and he goes and he fades, next time he will come and appreciate you. So a little bit of explanation goes a long way sometimes to help them understand, so that if you do crappy work for them, they know why they are getting crappy work is because they paid low for it. So me, I have all categories of levels of clothes and customers. When you come, I give you what you are paying for, and I'll explain to you that this fabric is more quality than that fabric, and this fabric will fade and this will not. This fabric, if I sew for you, I can give you for 200 cedis, and this one, if I sew for you, I can give you for 500 cedis. Now, if you want to reduce the 500 cedi one to 200 cedis, and then I do my calculations and see that, oh, profit kakra be better so. At my own discretion, I'll do for you. But I shouldn't compromise on my quality because he's going out with your word and he can destroy your name.
But
So you have a point too, I think.
But what goes into a style that you term as simple, stylish, and elegant?
This one, go on her page. She's elegant.
Yes, it is. I quoted it from her own page.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So, like, what will go into a style that will look simple, stylish, and elegant?
Okay, so what will go into a style for me? I would say choice of fabric.
Okay.
Like you saw my page, there's this colorful dress that I have.
Oh, I like
there.
that dress.
Yeah,
The very big, reddish,
it's
very
greenish.
nice.
You know,
Very
it's just simple. It's not much details,
Yeah.
but you know, like everyone is rushing for
makes
that
a
dress
statement.
because
Small
the
overlock.
fabric-
Upam, how pam,
You
no.
understand? It's just a choice of fabric,
Yeah.
you know, that makes it more simple, elegant, and
Yeah.
stylish. So
So, how much is that going for?
that's it's sold out, but I was selling it for 400 CDs.
Wow, look, affordable.
Oh, it's
Cheerful. Dollar is gone up. The fabrics, you know the fabrics have gone up in town.
It's been a while. It's not recent.
Okay. But
Yeah,
then
but it was
my boy
very
came back from
very
Accra,
important,
from
yeah.
buying fabric, and he said to me, boss, all
Yeah,
the prices have gone up.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't buy what I went to buy. Now I'm forced to increase the prices of my products.
Yeah.
But the customers come in and they say, hey, new boy thing.
It's too much. Yeah.
So I don't know what's happening. I'm not into politics. I don't understand politics, but I think it's getting a little too much now. It's
Right.
getting a little
It
out of
has.
hand.
It has. Because
getting a little out of hand.
I go to Accra a lot. I go to China Mall. Everything is there, like fabric,
Right.
the Kente, everything is there. The prices are really going up high. So I'm wondering how the designers and the tailors are accommodating.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah,
are getting
because
better.
you will charge now you move from 800 to 1,002.
Yes,
And
you
then
have to.
You have to.
Because
there's a
inflation
high
is what? More
possibility you
than more
lose
than
customers.
10,
And you know,
20%.
sometimes
So you
when
have to
it
go.
happens that way, you end up not getting customers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You understand?
People run.
So in this case,
Yeah.
it's like you end up on your own thing because it's too much.
You had a worry.
You understand me?
Or you reduce the quality.
Quality,
Yeah.
And that becomes a problem
Quality.
again for your brand.
Instead
like
of
I'm
using the
saying.
original, you use the grade 1 original.
Charlie, and you-
Original.
I mean, we've had an interesting conversation,
yeah.
and our time is up. Nanaya, thanks for coming. Elikem Kumuji.
Thanks for having me. You have a really lovely studio. It's my first time in
thank
here.
you.
This
Thank
is a
you.
like
it.
of life.
Yeah.
I like the
And you know,
vibe.
for Elikem, you know, the thing that he does with his, you know, his crew,
Yeah.
when they come and they're showcasing,
Yeah.
a lot of us are watching.
Season 2 is coming. You see, we took a break. We did 10 episodes and we took a break, but I'm trying to set up for season 2
So-
with like better camera, better editing, better music,
So we'll get season 2 this year.
better clothes. Yeah, before the year ends.
And okay.
Yeah, my tailors and I, we're a vibe. We're a vibe.
Sure. So every dress you have the measuring tape
Well, for myself, because
For
I'm the
yourself.
tailor, I'm a walking
Yeah.
advertisement. That's how I started my business. When I started, I had 0 customers.
Yeah.
Wearing the tape on my neck got me 1 client after the other.
Yeah.
And I just keep it consistent because that's what's key, consistency.
Yeah.
Anyways, today we've had more like information and education, so we really thank our guest for coming through. My name is Sanaya Tanobwache, and I did this with Helen Aniweja, Harriet Adi Esedwa Akomia, and Desmond Kweku Danso.